Shalom Uvracha, dear sisters and brothers, Baruch Hashem, from crazy places of calamity, of really not knowing what the future will be. We're throwing ourselves toward the next step, and without even understanding what we're doing in the world, keep on rolling and going forward with our inner urge and holy desire to really bring down the truth out to the world. I met some very interesting people in my life, and from all of them I learned a lot. But I must say, and I must admit, that from my students, from people that were close to me and came to learn from me, I learned the most. When I'm talking about the redemption, and when I'm talking about those wonderful hours that will take place in our lives, I'm talking about it not as a prophet and not as a God, a visionary. I'm talking about certain things that are really the foundations of our faith in the Creator. Because really, if a person does not believe that the Creator, He is the one that has all the powers really above this world to change everything, to change the nature of fire not to burn, and to change the nature of water not to drown you underneath them, and to change the power of earth to move by the Creator's will and not to be stiff and stubborn when you need it to roll and to move for you. If the person does not have that faith, so which faith can he have? And even if he will claim to be a believer and to be obedient and to follow the rules and the codes and the commandments and all the obligations, so I will say that he believes in people, but not in the Creator. Because the Creator has His name, and that name is the Creator, that He creates the world, that He is the one who creates life, that He's the one that creates all the creation. He put the nature into His creations. He makes the fire burn. He makes the water wet. He makes the air fresh. He makes all the things happen. He puts the sweetness in the fruits, in the food. He makes them beautiful, and He chooses the colors. And if we don't have that simple faith in Him, that He is the one who controls the creation, so in what do we believe? Now, with no doubt, many of us, and I myself experienced that as well in my life, that after certain efforts or certain tests in life, so we are climbing, we are rising, we are achieving amazing levels, spiritual levels, and with no doubt we are rising to places that we have never been there in those places before. And then when you get into those places, when you achieve a new level in your life, you come to certain new understandings in your life, many of us, or many times in our lives, we're falling to that place that we think, okay, now that's the level that I should be satisfied in. Like, okay, that's it. Now I know more, I understood more, I'm able to achieve more. That's it, my powers grew, and now I have more abilities, and I'm closer to the Creator. And that's it. And then you fall into that imagination that that's the level that you should stay in. But in reality, there is no one level that we should stop our journey at. We just, every moment of our life, must keep on desiring and wanting more and pushing forward and not backing off and not giving up and not surrendering and not falling to this laziness and to this sadness of saying, no, that's enough, that's my level, that's beautiful, I wish I can live my life like that always. That's not good. When a person is falling to that, he's falling into, he becomes old. He falls into that place that he does not believe in the Creator great power, the Creator's great power anymore. He just falls to be religious. He falls to have a certain understanding and to be satisfied with that understanding, and that's it. And it's like an aspect of an animal, if you'll ask me. You can see animals, they don't have too many excitements in life. You see the same deers, the same animals coming to the same fields every day, doing the same thing, eating the same grass, standing under the same trees, enjoying the shades from the same bushes, like drinking their same water always, like, and that's it. That's their life, simple life. Now, I can understand the comfort of that kind of life. I can understand that the person is saying, like, look, I don't look for troubles, I don't know, I like, life can be dangerous, I rather to have my payroll, I rather to have my check, I rather to know where I'm standing, I don't need too many excitements in life. Like, I understand that, like, many of us can find themselves in that place. But I don't know how to do that. I never been to that place. To stand in one place, for me it always felt like I'm stuck. Always, like, I felt like I'm stuck. Why? Because the spirit, the soul of human beings is made out of fire, and that fire is flaming, and it's an inner torch of fire that always burn the old layers and always desiring the core of who you are, the real true divine spirit that you are, and always coming to remind you of your true existence, of your true being. And if you don't follow it, if you don't follow the inner desire to change and to improve and to rise and to grow, so that's an aspect of being an animal, like a behemah, like cattle, like a cow. Like, it doesn't need no changes. It's like, I'm good where I am. I'll eat the same food every day. I'll be very happy with the same food, like every day, same food. So there can be a person that will desire lusts and desires of this world and will be satisfied with that. He knows, I need a 3 bedrooms apartment and a small porch, and that's enough. Like, no, I don't need to renovate the house. I don't need to buy new furniture. And like, yeah, I'm good. Everything is good. There can be another person that will say, no, I need my fancy cottage, and I need a fancy car, whatever. But like, again, when he reached that, he sits with his few $1 million in his bank account, so he's like, Okay, he bought his boat and he has his summer house and whatever, and he's good. Now he can go and play golf and fly with his whatever private jet to his vacations in the islands, whatever. Like, oh, it's basically the same thing. Oh, so that one desire potatoes, and that one desire carrots, that one desire water, and that one desire coke and cocaine. Like, what's the difference between them? It's all aspect of an animal. And also there is a spiritual animal. There is an animal that will be satisfied, like that's a more intelligent animal that desires to learn Torah, and every day he sits on the same books and he's learning, and he has his schedule set, and every morning he wakes up before dawn, he washes his hands, and he goes to the synagogue and he prays in the same minyan every day, and he sits and learns the parasha of that week, the portion of that week, and he has chavrutot, and he's sitting and learning, and like amazing, and every day he's praying mincha and ma'ariv, the evening prayer, and he learns another page in the evening, and he eats only kosher. If you ask me, it's also the same aspect of being an animal, because you don't desire more. It's true that you're not feeding your stomach only with physical food. It's not only potatoes and carrots. It's not only water or coke or worse things like drugs or whatever. It's true. You are eating spiritual food, but you're still feeding your stomach. You're still taking care of your belly. Oh yeah, the dafayomi every day. I learn page. I'm doing this. I have my classes. I have my chavruta. What's the problem with animals? That if you take them away from their comfort zone, from their safe place, they become wild. They go and start biting you. They start attacking you. They start fighting with you. Even a small deer, like a few weeks ago, my wife told me that she watched a short video, something like that, on Facebook, that a person went out like with his dog, and there was a deer that was crossing the street, and if like a tiny dog, a poodle, he walked with him, but that deer just got hysterical and got into pressure and into stress because of that poor dog, and started jumping all over him and was and was kicking him and stamping all over him and really hurt that dog. And why? You're gonna think to yourself, wow, that deer is so cute and so beautiful and so gentle. It's true, but he's an animal, You can't talk to him. So also a person that he set for himself always to go on the same schedule, because that's what he understood that is good for him, and he's being robotic about it. He's just like doing it every day, the same thing, and he's happy with his schedule. If you'll ask me, 99% of the cases, if you push that person to a corner, if you're going to challenge him in life, you're going to see that he's crazy. You're going to see that he's an animal. Try to take the Gemara from him, oh, you're going to be so upset. Try to take the Mincha, the Ma'ariv from him, tell him, no, tonight you can't go pray. No, today, this morning, you cannot do this. You cannot. You're going to see the animal comes out of him. Start fighting, no, you're not going to stop me, no, you're not going to tell me, like whatever, like, whoa, what happened? You forgot your humanity. You forgot your kindness. You forgot how gentle you're supposed to be. Only a person that is committed to faith in in every case, in any case, in every situation, only a person that is connecting himself to the Creator above the commandments of the Creator, above the rules, above what that is written in the book. Not because that it's written, because you feel inside of yourself that that's your truth, that you should be connected to the truth no matter how and what it will present to you. If now after 50 years of truth, of being truthful, of being honest, suddenly you're going to realize that you were all wrong, what you're going to do with that? Will you change your path? Now you realized after 50 years, after 80 years of serving the Creator in a certain way, suddenly you're going to understand, hey, you were wrong. Something was very, 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 very wrong in your faith, in the way that you believed, in the way that you served the Creator, in the way that you did whatever you were commanded. There was a certain bug in your program. There was a certain mistake. Something was scratched. Something was twisted. Something was bent. Will you be a person of truth to admit your mistake and to fix yourself? To take responsibility on 50, 60, 70 years of work, of effort in the same direction, to stand and to admit I was wrong? For that, you should be a real believer. And the real believer is not just a person that follows the faith. He's not only a person that is following the Creator. He's also a person that is following the Creator with passion. He's also a person that is following the Creator from a place of understanding that the Creator can change the reality in every moment. That the Creator is above the limitations of this world. And He's above nature, and He can make wonders in this creation in ways that you cannot predict, that you cannot even think of. And every person in this world, he has those abilities to recognize the inner passion and inner connection to the Creator inside of himself, and to follow that inner illumination, and to find the inner power to rise to heights that were never exist before. And every person on earth has inside of him a soul that is even higher than the soul of an angel, and higher in the soul than a soul of an angel in that aspect that you're also made out of fire, that you're also able to go underwater, and you can live with no food, and you can live with no oxygen, and you can climb to the highest places, and you can fly, and you can reach those places that are above all limitations of your body, and it lives inside of you. And that's the true potential of the true believer in the Creator. To believe in the Creator is not only to believe in His commandments and to follow the rules. To believe in the Creator is to believe in the fact that there is a Creator, that there is someone that is able to change the reality in every moment of our lives. And there is, if I'm not wrong, there is, first of all, there is a simple faith that a person has. Inside of your spirit, inside of your mind, you have your faith. Okay, I believe in the Creator, and me and the Creator, we are one, and we're doing things, and He's with me and I'm with Him. Great. But the believer, when he needs help, when he wants something to change, when he understands that something in this world is hidden, so he's trying to make changes, and the way to make changes is only through prayer, through very strong passion and holy desire for that change, and then the way to express that desire with prayer. Now, prayer for sure can be a simple prayer in your mind before you even open your heart. You can just think, oh, I wish this will happen, I hope that will take place. And that simple prayer is already a prayer, but it's not a perfect prayer. It's not a complete prayer. A complete prayer is also not the prayer that you read from the Siddur book. even though that the prayers that are written in the Siddur book, all the Psalms of Tehillim that have been written by King David, and all the wonderful written prayers, even though they are blessing, and even though that they are wonderful, and even though that they are awesome and inspiring and fantastic and gorgeous, they're not yours. They will never express 100% of how you feel about the situation. And even if you felt that, oh, but that verse really talked about what I was thinking and feeling, whatever, it's only because you haven't talked about that topic enough. If really you will open your heart and your mind to talk about the things that are bothering you in your individual prayer, in your simple prayer of expressing your feelings and your heart to the Creator, like you talk to your best friend, like you talk to someone that you know that he loves you, that you know that he cares about you, you would see that you have much, much more to say than written about that topic in the book of Tehillim, in the book of Songs of King David, or in the Siddur book. You will see that you can speak for hours and hours on the same thing, and you won't find more than few verses, more than few chapters that are talking on that topic. But if you will go and talk your heart, you'll find yourself talking with no end. I saw myself talking about one concept for hundreds of hours, going and talking and asking Hashem, please, again and again, and have another aspect and another request, and from this reason, and bringing those claims, and trying to convince him, and trying to explain my point, and to bring more light, to pour more light on that topic, and to ask by the merit of this righteous man, and from that reason, and from that angle to attack it, and to did so many hours on the same topic, and chose every time different words and different ways of expressing myself. And why? Because the source of light that lives inside of you is an endless spring of holiness, of purity. And the only way to find that amazing source of inspiration is by letting yourself in those gates and windows of your spirit, into your own mind, finding your true self, finding your true self. Recognizing the beauty of your creation, recognizing the glory of who you are as a child of the Creator, as a creation, as a fantastic human being that, I said it a few times already, but when people are telling me, oh, but I'm just human, I'm laughing. Just human? What do you mean just human? If you would recognize and understand the qualities of your spirit while being human, you would be amazed. You can't imagine who you are. You are a son of the first man and Eve, the first woman. Do you know who you are? Do you understand your glory, that the Creator chose you to be the crown of creation? That you've been created in His shape? That your soul, the soul that gives you life and revives you from within, is a godly soul? Do you know what it means to have a godly soul? A portion of heaven from above. Do you know your skills, your powers, your talents, your abilities? The magical energy that flows inside every cell of your body? Do you understand how blind we are? Why? Because all this world is blocked and sealed and holds the light within. So no matter what you see with your eyes, everything that you look at, okay, so this is a creation of Hashem. Okay, so Hashem made it. Can you see Hashem in it? No, you cannot. It's plastic. You can't see anything. You see colors, you see shapes, it's round, there are circles in it, there is a hole in it, plastic, two sides to it. Also, you can look at it from that angle. You don't see Hashem. Don't fool yourself. You can't see Hashem in it. Where is Hashem? Hashem is inside of it. And even if you're going to break it and bring out the particles that built it, if you're going to look at them, even with a microscope, you won't see Hashem. You will see movements of physicality, and their energy, the source of energy, is godly. Okay, but again, no matter to how you're gonna break it down, to how many particles, Hashem you won't see. Hashem, you can recognize Him, the Creator, you can recognize only with your faith. You cannot see Him with your eyes. Your eyes will always lie to you. Now you hear a lecture, there is a teacher, someone is sitting in front of you and talking to you. You don't see Hashem, you see me, you see a person, you see the screen of your computer, of your phone, of your iPad. You don't see me even. You don't see anything. And even if you would see me, you don't know the real me that lives inside my mind, that is the light of my soul, and who am I? You don't see that. And even if you would see face to face, stand in front of me, hold my hand together, so you held my skin. You touched my skin. Do you know who I am? Do you know what's going on inside my heart? Can you imagine? Can you investigate the feelings that I have in my heart, in my mind, the thoughts that I have, my life experience, all the memories that are coming together? You don't know anything. You look at the sky. Oh, it's so inspiring. What is inspiring? You see a picture in front of your eyes. You don't see anything. You don't see 1% of reality. And your soul is so greater than your body. Your body is only the way that the light of your soul is being expressed and taking shape in this earthen creation, in the lowest level of creation, in the first circle, closest to the core but physical. And when you see the light, when you're connected to your spirit, to your soul, and you see the soul of a person, the person is gigantic and he's rising to the sky. And he's above and he's higher, every person. Not only the righteous ones, not only those godly and pure ones with a pure heart and all. No, every soul, every human being. Do you know what is it? Do you know what's going on in this world? No one knows. No one sees. No one can understand what's going on in this world. You think to yourself, all right, now you're standing in front of that lake. All right, inspiring moment in your life. You took your family, you went alone, you're in front of the lake, you're doing Hitbodedut, you're praying to the Creator. Amazing, that's how you feel. You see the water and the reflection of the sky and the trees and the mountain tops in front of you on the water like a mirror, and everything is clear and beautiful and amazing. Okay, now listen. You don't see anything. Do you know how much life there is inside the lake? Do you know how many animals find their ways now, right now as we speak, and you're not aware of them? Do you know how many animals are coming at night to drink from that lake? Do you know how many birds are being fed from this lake, from that pond? Do you know? And even if you will investigate everything, you're going to put 7,000 cameras in and out this lake, you will see the present time. You will see today. Do you know what took place in that lake 100 years ago? Do you know what took place in that lake 200 years ago and 500 years ago? Do you know which kind of people walked around this lake 2,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago? Do you know which animals were here before? And what people did with the water, and they took them in vessels and they hid them in their caves, and they took it from one place to the other and made spells on it and drank it and watered it and did things with it and crazy things. And you don't know anything. And you don't know anything about this creation at all. A drop you don't know. 1% you don't know. And if you think you know, so you have a problem. That you're not aware to the depths of creation. That you don't understand anything. Because every drop of water is built from billions of cells, of atoms that are completing it. And they have a story. Because every drop of water is a drop that you just picked. But you know where it came from? It's flowing from the first moment of creation for thousands of years. It's flowing. and it's getting boiled and becomes steam and rise to the clouds, and the particles are moving and animals are drinking it, and it's coming back to the nature, and it draws back into the trees, and it falls with the leaves in the palm, and then it rolls in the street and get dry again, and all the water of it are disappearing and melting into the air, and people are breathing that air in the moist that is in the regular fresh air that you breathe every moment of your life, and then again it comes back into the system that flows between the rivers and the lakes and ponds and streams, and then it goes back up and it drops in the rain in the ocean, and fish are drinking it and putting it into their systems. And like you took it now, and it's not it. You think, oh no, that's my cup of water. That cup of water is billions of stories of deep information with purpose, and all the cells and all the particles and all the combinations are connected in great harmony that a human being cannot grasp with his eyes. All the animals, oh, that's a cute deer, oh, an amazing squirrel, oh, look at that person, that car. It's not a car, that's not an animal, that's thousands on thousands of stories, deep stories of billions of animals that are walking on the sides of the mountains for generations and running, and from a whole group of animals one survived, and that one ran for thousands of hours from one state to the next, and over there it's find its soulmate, and over there it been multiplied, and over there there was a fire, and again hundreds died, and only a couple of them ran away, and there's stories on stories from 6 days of creation. And all the deers are representing an idea and a concept that is much higher and divine and godly and spiritual than an animal that you, oh no, it's a nice steak or a beautiful view. It's not this and it's not that. It's a creation. It's a creation that is telling us wisdom, that reveals godly sense, that brings down the mind of the Creator into shapes, into forms. And we are all part of that amazing system, and we're the top crown. We are those ones who hold emunah, the faith. But the faith is in the nights. The faith is in the nights, and it means that we need to desire it with all our hearts, no matter what we go through in life. No matter what we go through in life. You have people that for them to smoke is poison. You have people that they must smoke. You have people that cannot drink alcohol. You have people that must drink alcohol once a day. You have people that cannot use vaccines and it's dangerous for them. And you have people that only vaccines save their lives, the life of their children. You have people that are supposed to guard their eyes and never to look at the shape of a woman. And you have people that if they will close their eyes, they will freak out completely and they might kill themselves and become suicidal. You have so many stories, and there is no one path for everyone to walk on. There is no one life story for all human beings. There is only the completion of all we are. Yes, Kim, I was talking about you, with no doubt. I was. That was my idea. I was talking about you. Every person in this lifetime is part of this puzzle. And you're not just a part, all right, I'm that part. No, in that part you have so many combinations. In that part you have so many stories, you have so many tales, you have so many things that are building and composing that amazing, magnificent part of the whole large picture. And every single one of us is magnificent, is beautiful and gorgeous. Gorgeous. Godly and divine, and with no limitations at all. And the Creator chose this way of supervision on the world that the world will just fall and fall and fall from one generation to the next. And it started in a very, very fast falling with the first man. Immediately when he came down to this world, he crashed. That's it. Like he wasn't, like 1 hour he was not clean. If you think that he was clean for an hour, I'm telling you he was not clean for a minute. 1 minute he was not clean on earth. Immediately when he went into the gates of heaven, from the heavenly world of above, into the gates of the Garden of Eden, he crossed the border. That's it. When the soul came into the body, even though that the first body, the connected, complete body of Adam and Eve, was so illuminating and was so shiny and so bright and so pure that we cannot understand. And it's written even that the heel of their body, the body of Adam and Eve, was shinier than the sun. They were so pure that they were shinier even than the sun. The light that came out of their body was so bright that you couldn't look at them. Like before, like the face of Moses when he was talking to the Creator face to face. That people couldn't stare at his face. People couldn't look at his eyes because he was so illuminated. He was shining out. Even then, the soul of Adam and Eve, when it found physicality in an aspect, in a breadth of a hair, in a crust, in the thinnest and the tiniest, most gentle and pure layer of physicality, that's it. It was all gone. And the second generation is already Cain murdering Abel for the lust and desire of his wife, that he wanted to take Abel's wife. And the next generation is even worse, and everyone are killing each other and fighting and stealing and murdering and doing the worst thing, and until today. And look at us today. Horrible generation, worst condition, trafficking people, selling children. People are sinning with no end, corrupt world, horrible systems, manipulating societies. Horrible things, and robbing people to the light under the sun with no fear from heaven, no faith, lust and desires. People are selling organs, people are cutting themselves, people kidnapping people, and like horrible things, and all social media and dark webs online. Horrible things, all wrong and all twisted. And from that very heavy darkness, the light will appear. Which light? The light of the endless love of the Creator, of the unconditional love of the Creator to His creations, to all His children, with no end. And it will change and shift the world from that horrible place, from the complete destruction, to the most highest and most evaluated, beautiful, gorgeous, magnificent time of redemption. And suddenly all rules of nature will fall, and all the supervision that was known and accepted by people will change. And the Creator will come back to reveal His loving kindness through all particles of creation. And the sea will do what we will command him to do, and all the animals will be disciplined and follow the light of the righteous ones. And all kinds of blessings will illuminate and will shine out to the world with no end. May Hashem bless us all to succeed and to grow spiritually and physically in all aspects of life. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon.